I'm Katia Belas. I'm the director-producer of Talk to the Hands, and I'm here to talk about how Talk to the Hands came to be. You see, in 2017, I decided to create or organize and produce a film festival that is to encourage more filmmakers to work in collaboration with deaf. And most of the films that I got the submissions for was short films. I didn't get enough feature film submissions, so I decided to do it once myself. So I only had 2 months to do it because I wanted to screen that in the festival. And 2 months is not enough time to raise the money. I have no money, I'm not rich, so I had to get the money, I have to get the script done. I didn't even have any script or a story to do it, let alone the whole process of making a movie. So I sent the idea of the film that I wanted to do to two of deaf friends of mine. They're both deaf actresses, and they were busy and couldn't help me out. Okay, luckily, that writer volunteered to write the script for me, and I was very happy because being a deaf writer, I was assumed like the story would come back as realistic as possible and authentic for the deaf community and deaf culture. So with that, I was really happy with. So the story, it's not mine, it's his. I mean, I have the idea of the story, but the script itself was a deaf writer who wrote it. However, he had a problem with his work, and having a name, the credit on the film would compromise his work. So he asked me not to be on the film or have no credits. So right now, the story shows that it's my story, but no writer because of that. 2 weeks later, when I got all the guidelines and the script and everything, I went back to the two deaf actresses that I first contacted before. They were still unavailable. So now what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna, have to rewrite or change. So I decided to change to instead of being two deaf actresses to have two deaf actors. The story was supposed to be about a deaf girl falling in love with a hearing guy, so we changed to be a deaf guy falling in love with a hearing girl. Back then, I had already contacted some of the actors I wanted to work with before. The lead actor, actually Miles Barbie, was already contacted. He took like 3 weeks to tell me if he was gonna be available or not, which was driving me crazy because now we are 3 weeks into the 2 month and I still didn't have a lead actor. Thankfully, he got off and the days off, and then he was able to do the movie. As for the hearing actors, I auditioned them all via Skype, and I created a schedule whenever they had time because I had no time to take one day off, and then maybe they were not available. Bear in mind, I was also working and I was producing the festival, raising money, crewing up, trying to find food, where to buy the food, where to get the equipment, everything, all in those 3 weeks that we will be working with the auditions and everything to make the film. I had to make creative decisions because how I'm gonna make a film within like 2 months with all this items that I have to do, all the things that I have to do to prepare, plus shoot, plus then post-production, gonna cut, see the sound and everything else within 2 months. The reason I decided to do improv is this way the actors didn't have to memorize the lines. They would just come to the set with whatever line it is. There was no problem with having to memorize what cues they're gonna have, who is the next to say what line they're gonna wait, and if they mess up one line and then cut and then start again. No, with improv there was there's one take. There's no mistakes, so we just do whatever we could do it. With the improv too, there was another issue that you cannot repeat yourself over and over. So we had decided to do 4 cameras at once. This way I would take all the angles that I need to take for the scene, and I use one or another take for inserts, but basically a whole scene was in one take or 2 because they wouldn't repeat themselves. That also saved us time. So we were able to make the whole film in 2 days. We worked for about 14 to 16 hours each day, which was a lot, but we did do a 60 minutes film in 2 days. We also used only one location. Everything was shot in a house, and everything that is exterior is the exterior of the house, maybe like 10 steps away. So all the park scenes, all the street scenes, garage, whatever, they're all in the same house. The only time we changed was when we shot one of the bedrooms being the hotel room where the crew was staying, because we shot everything in a house in Riverside. So many of the crew from Los Angeles stay in a hotel overnight from one day to the other. So we used the hotel room as one of the location as well. But that was it. Everything else was in the same house. So we couldn't move the equipment from one place to the other. The less we moved, the more time we have, so we could actually speed up the process of everything. What makes it a lot easier for us to do the film faster is that we rehearse a lot. I have actually Miles and Reb, the 2 lead actors. They were with me 4 to 3 hours every day during the 4th week. And we rehearsed the characters, how they knew each other, like what's gonna happen and everything. Actually, I was a little bit concerned because Miles was able to read Reb's lips so well that they communicate easily. And the character of AJ, Miles' character, he was supposed to be very difficult to understand each other, but Miles and Reb just got that magic going on that they could understand each other very well, and it made it easier for us to shoot. We had 3 interpreters each day for the whole day, so it make easier communication also between the deaf and the hearing that were on set, and for me too as a director to direct the actors on there. It's very important for me to have this communication with the actors, and the interpreters were there to help me out. But Miles had a car accident the night before we start shooting. He totaled his car. Luckily, he only had like a couple scratches, so he was able to work. We actually shot everything on the 5th week within those 2 months. So going to post-production, what happened, I have an editor that had no idea what sign language is or deaf culture or anything. So when we were editing, the editor wasn't able to edit the scenes accordingly with the sign language. He would cut the signs in the middle and it would make no sense at all. So I had to come in the, after he finished his part or his rough cut, and I did the director's cut, to include the whole signing, because we couldn't actually understand all the signing lines from the deaf actors. They were all cut in the middle. They would make no sense. After all that, we finally screened it in the festival. So I was very happy that we actually got a film from zero, not even a script or anything, to a screenable, version of the film. It was not the best film, because we call it a preview, because the caption was bad, the sound was not clean or anything, but everybody was able to actually see a whole feature film, a 60 minutes feature film. So that was the point of this film. The point was to show that it can be done, that it's hard, but if you really put into it, it's not impossible to do a feature film with whatever you have, with money, no money, with friends, no friends, whatever you can do. I wanted to have a product that I actually could submit to all the festivals, big festivals, or Netflix, or TV, or even theater, whatever. So I wanted to add 30 more minutes to the film. So I called the actors, the lead actors, to see if they would be willing to come back and add more scenes with that. So in 2018, we decided to, shoot the extra 30 minutes. I got all the actors back. I was lucky enough that everybody was available, and we were going to make it in another 3 days. We have more time, like do it like little, not like crazy like we did before, like 14 hours, and we did just like 8 hours the most and everything. I wanted to do new scenes, like, or reshoot the scenes that would be that was not looking good from the first shoot, and some of the scenes, like I said before, we didn't have the footage, so I wanted to reshoot to have all the footage again. So that was the plan to do in 2018. Decided to do now. I could try to continue raising money, since I'm gonna reshoot the film again. But I decided to do it now, because now you don't know what's gonna happen, how long it's gonna take to get all the money. So the cast could be unavailable or completely change, and I didn't want to risk that. So we decided to do everything now, and everybody was happy, to come back and do it again. The thing is, 1 week before we were supposed to shoot those 3 days, we had some problem with the director of photography, and we had to change the director of photography. The director of photography, the new director of photography, she was very professional. She used different cameras, professional grade cameras, so her cameras wouldn't fit with the same footage that we had before. So I had two options: either find out how to get money to rent the equipment to match with the previous, or do all over again with the new cameras. After some talk, they all said, it would be better to shoot the whole film again. So here we go again with 3 days on schedule we shot the whole film again, although this time I had to add an extra day, so we shot in 3 days and a half the whole film again. I hope you enjoy the film.